Guys, this is Dr. Lior Barel, and today we're going to be approaching episode 6. And in episode 6, I want to talk about exactly what basically screws up your entire, your entire gifts that the Lord has blessed you with in terms of spirituality. What destroys it? And you see, I do believe that the Lord made us born clairvoyant. Every human being on the face of this earth. What happens is, slowly in life, they start to develop blockages, and eventually they lack that connection spiritually. Now, some people call that heretics. Some people call that, because they're modern idiots and they're sheep, so they like to say stupid things like that. But in reality, back in the day, people were more connected to El HaKadosh. They were more connected to God spiritually. They were more connected to the universe. They understood the reality of everything. You understand? So what caused this? And then you have to start to think and say, wait, something doesn't quite make sense here. How did we just develop blockages? How did our parents not teach us the right, about these things so we can open and be more open to it instead of being ashamed and, completely, give up on it and all that stuff. And I kept on saying, I'm pulling up the stuff I want to talk to you guys about. I kind of wanted to see if there was any correlation in terms of what's going on, to see what's going on and to pinpoint exactly, accurately what's going on. Not just what the spirit world tells me, but actually to prove it scientifically what's going on in a way to help people. So it came to my conclusion, and it was also validated by the spiritual world, of course, but common sense. First off, when you're in the womb, we are taught that after you get out, we all forget. Some people believe the angel touch makes you forget everything. Bullshit. What happens is, when you're little, you see things, you hear things, you know things, okay? And slowly, as it progresses, your mind becomes more and more closed, and then eventually you don't see anything, and you're blocked. So what's going on? Okay, first off, natural birth, okay? Back in the day, you had natural birth. Straight up, you got the sunlight, gave you the sun, it's the same kind of natural light that was on you. Everything is now, check this out. Things like fluorescent lights, okay? When you're born in a hospital, the first thing you're born, or even indoors or whatever, when you're born into that atmosphere, the first thing already that you have, the thing that is a negative, is fluorescent lights. Now, a lot of the times when I used to do investigations, paranormal investigations, when I go and people tell me a house is haunted or something like that, the first things I check for is magnetic energy to make sure there's not anything magnetic, because that could cause hallucinations, and of course fluorescent lights. Fluorescent lights, what it does is it causes your brain to react differently, even your chemicals in your bodies to react very different. Fluorescent lights are bad for you. No matter what anybody says, they think it's good, oh, it's the best lights in the world. No, it's not. It might save you, some people say it saves them money on electric, whatever. I don't even know if that's true, because I don't have fluorescent lights. I don't care for it. But the thing is, you're born in a hospital, you are subjected to the fluorescent lights. That's already starting. But let's start from the beginning. When you're in your mom's womb, you're obtaining nutrition. That nutrition comes from GMO, Monsanto garbage. The same assholes that support Hillary Clinton, Soros. But the thing is, that's the type of crap that your mom is putting into her body, and therefore you're eating it as well. You're absorbing the nutrients and all of the negative stuff from that food. So already those chemicals are already screwing up with you. Fluoride in your water already screws up with you. So this is already screwing you up in the womb. Then the second you get out of the womb, you're subjected to fluorescent lights. Then now remember, guys, what does government mean? You put it. 2 words, government, to govern mentality, okay? They rule your mind, as I say, right? Religion in Latin means to blind. Also made by governments of the world. It has nothing to do with God at all. I mean, if you look at it, God said Am Yisrael, not Dat Israel, right? Nation, not religion. And I go into that in my other videos. So when you combine it together, you say you rule the mind by blinding people from the truth. So therefore, you rule religion, and then religions tell you, yes, oh, it's good that you're not seeing anything, because if you did, there's something seriously wrong with you. It's Satan, even though Satan is the tester. But the stupid idiots, the pagans, they believe otherwise. But the thing is, That's the whole point. It's the lies and the betrayal by those that we hold above. I don't hold them. I hold them beneath my boot. By the majority of the sheep out there, they hold these people up on top. Now, when I say sheep, I don't mean to be offensive, because I do believe that every sheep has an ability to morph into a lion. And as I always say, the corrupted shepherd, rules the sheep. But if we teach the sheep how to be lions, they will devour the corrupted shepherds, because the sheep outnumber the corrupted shepherds. You understand? So you turn the sheep into lions, those little fucks are gone. Okay, but the thing is, they rule in this world, sadly. And a lot of people I see the millennials, they're complete idiots, like complete stupid people. I'm not talking about all millennials, but the majority of millennials, they're not people who actually want to investigate and learn on their own. They're people who just do as they're told. Now, Seven Ishma is to God, not to people. People have to understand, when you start putting rabbis, priests, muftis, caliphs, or whatever, when you start putting these freaks above God, and you start doing Na'aseh v'nishma to these idiots, you lose your spiritual connection right away. But again, they're taught in their religion. Doesn't mean that they think they're wrong. They might think that they're very right, because they were raised that way by the governments who made these religions. Their leaders taught these people what we call the Erev Rav, sodomite garbage. So the sodomites, what they want to do to you, they came back into this world to make people's life a living hell, basically to try to show the Lord that everybody is flawed, and misery loves company, and there's tons of it that I'll get into that in other videos that has nothing to do with this. But in this video, what I want you guys to understand is what causes these problems. So then you have the fluoride in water. Then you grow older, you get educated by stories. Ghosts don't exist. Spirits don't exist. What you're seeing is your imaginary body. There's no monsters under your bed. They mix up, just like religions do, truths with false. And then they control you. You understand? They blind you. What happens is then you go into liberal education, which is like the stupidest thing in the world. Whatever. The thing is, you learn in liberal education, all these stupid idiots, they teach you things, and you're also taught that's not, something's not this, not that. They're adding blockages to your head as well, also blinding you, because schools are controlled by these governments, right? They control it. That's why it's called liberal education. It's actually controlled by the government. If the government does not approve of a certain curriculum, they will not fund the school. It's just a common sense about that, okay? So then you got education. It's brilliant how these evil motherfuckers, the way they actually did this, it's actually brilliant. And if you think about it, devilishly brilliant. So that's what I'm trying to tell you. And then afterwards, you get mind fucked by the school, and you never have conversations with your parents because you're scared. Oh my God, I know a lot of you guys that reached out to me said, oh, Leo, we would never talk to our parents that we could see things, because they'd put us in a mental institution again, because your parents were trained under stupidity rules, under stupid learning and all that stuff, knowledge, and they are sheep. They don't learn. I'm sorry, but it's the truth. They're sheep, but they have the ability to be lions if they're willing to hear and be open-minded. Sadly, a lot of parents today, they're just, this is the way it is. And if you see, if you look at parents back then and parents now, even though they were screwed up too, because again, they're part of the system, all of them, the parents today are more careless about their kids. They don't care about their kids. The parents back then really cared. They really, really cared. But as you see, there's a reason why this thing is gradually turning to shit. There's a reason why religions are causing wars and is separating people. There's a reason behind all of that, because they want to fuck humanity up. You understand? So the first thing you do to fuck humanity up is by blinding them from the truth. If they hear spirits telling them, don't do this, don't do that, they're going to know that's the truth. But in order for deception to be preached as truth, you got to kill the truth. That's why people hated the Torah. They tried to make up all kinds of bullshit to fuck up the Torah. The same exact thing is going with humanity. They want to screw humanity, but at the same time, they want to destroy the truth. So they're trying to blind you from the realities of this world. If you look at my video that I speak about, is there anything physical in this world? You'll see I elaborate more on this, but that's the thing. It's all coming down to this. They're dumbing down everyone, because they don't. The first thing you have to do is spiritually blind them, so they have no attachment to El Kadosh. And once you do that, it's over. I mean, what did the enemies of the Israelites used to say? We can't defeat the Israelites. The only way we're going to defeat the Israelites is by making them turn against their God. You understand? Against their desert god. Sorry, that's what they called it, because they're fucking idiots. But the thing is, that's what they said. And then when the Jews started doing that, guess what? They got ass fucked. And exactly this is what's happening today. Everyone is being a slave to a system. It's kind of like the fucking Matrix. Like the movie The Matrix. It really is. You guys are not seeing the world for really what it is. There's nothing physical in this world at all. Nothing. Okay? And it's just the coding in it that gives us the ability to think that way, that there is something physical, but there's nothing physical. Now, there's a lot of things that contribute. Deodorant, for example, has a lot of chemicals also preventing. Wireless internet, wireless phones, Bluetooth, all of these things fuck you up to the point that you cannot, you know, it adds blockages. It ruins your entire connection. Caffeine, okay? Even meat that is not slaughtered properly. I could tell you what's kosher and what's not just by eating it. I could just eat a piece of meat. I'll tell you right away, immediately, if it was slaughtered. Even, you'd be surprised how many also hold glatt kosher, and it's not. Because I could honestly tell that it's not kosher from when the cow, when it bleeds, when the adrenaline starts, you know, and all that stuff. You can taste it in the meat, the adrenaline. Some people think it tastes good. I don't. I really can taste that really, really hard, rich flavor to the point that I want to vomit. And that's what I'm trying to talk to you guys about. And that's what it is. It all comes down to that. It is the... all of this is happening because of that. So you have all of these issues from the womb to out the womb to eating to all of that crap even after. And all of that, it's continuously blinding you. Like myself, for example, okay? I make sure I'm very picky on what I eat, believe it or not. I mean, I eat a lot, but I'm very picky on what I eat. But the thing is, I always imagine, because I do eat junk, what would have happened if I was younger and stayed very, 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 very raw? You know, like healthy and eat raw, but even raw, you know, with the chemtrails and all that garbage. But the thing is, you know, and the poisons in our soil. But the thing is, if there was a way I can grow my own food and eat it, how smart, how connected would we have been? I mean, think about it. Back then, you know, we call it in Hebrew chushkash and whatever. You know, that's you know, that sense that something's wrong or whatever. Could you imagine how connected the people back in the day were? Could you imagine? I'm not the prophets. You have to imagine that. We look at them as, oh, they're prophets. You know, the prophets were much more, because the people today, the people that were back then, could be compared to prophets. Remember, magicians existed in the time of Moshe Rabbeinu, of Moses. Okay, real magicians. We're not talking about magic tricks. We're talking about sorcery. Existed in the time of Moshe Rabbeinu. Necromancy existed in the time of Moshe Rabbeinu. All of these things existed. They had it. Well, it's legal, illegal. That's an argument all on its own. But the thing is, it was there because people were spiritually connected. They knew what was real, and they knew how to manipulate the world. They knew how to manipulate the illusions. You understand? And that's what it comes down to. That's really what it comes down to. So those are the things that are deterring you away. Now, how do you stop it? Okay, you got mercury also causing problems. You got all kinds of stuff. So how do you stop it? Well, filtration in water. What I do is I usually filter the water. Then I dump it in, after it filters through a Brita filter or whatever, I pour it into a hot, tea kettle. Then I pour it back into, you know, once it cools, back into the Brita filter, and you got yourself clean water. Okay, it's probably going for too much, you know, into this, but I do it for safety. After that, food, you know, make sure you scrub it. Either way, you're fucked when you eat vegetables or meat. It doesn't make a difference. You're fucked. But the thing is, you have to know how to clean it. They have things that cleanse, like, for instance, apple cider vinegar with the mother. When you drink that on an empty stomach 3 times a day, you're alkalizing your body. When you alkalize, you do good things. You have oxygen in your blood, which is one of the things that connect you spiritually, believe it or not, is alkaline blood. That's why you don't get cancer, you don't get all that, but at the same time your brain functions better. It's a blood thinner. Everything in your body operates better when you have oxygen, but also you connect spiritually. A lot of people know that I've done treatments like that actually cured them from cancer. They also did these things and said we were hearing things, we were connecting with things. There wasn't hallucinations, it was real. Okay, so that's the thing. And then you also need to be open-minded and to understand that these things exist. Yes, there is spirits in this world, or as you guys call it, ghosts. They exist. They're here. You will be one. Okay? And in the life app. After I explained that in my other videos. Okay, so, you know, when you're in that next world, you start to understand what this world really looks like. In the next world. In the next dimension. So you start to see things the way they are. It's very, very complex, very complicated. Every universe also has a different, it's like you, but 5 minutes before. It's like, it's so complicated, it's unbelievable. But everything is tracked, you understand? But the thing what I'm trying to tell you is there's a way to prevent it. So do that, okay? Alkalize your body. After that, when you eat meat and stuff, or, you're taking mercury or whatever, you're eating tuna, all that guy. If you eat tuna, you get mercury, all that. There's different type of supplements that you could take that clear the mercury out. Things, what was it, like cod liver oil, omega-3s, I don't even know. There's like so many shit that you can take that basically cleanse out your system. I also take psyllium husk to clean out my colon, because you are going to have gunk in your colon, and that's the way it is. And probiotics is good for you and whatever, but you need to cleanse it out and then take probiotics. So the best way to do it is through psyllium husk. Again, big danger sign on that, because if you don't know how to use it, do not use it, because you'll choke. So you need to mix it up with water and lemon juice and all of that stuff. There's a way to cleanse your gallbladder. You could look this up on YouTube. See, the internet is like a double-edged sword. I mean, but you're the one that decides. You could decide whether you want to use it for good or use it for bad. If you're using it for good, it's brilliant. There's so much information at your fingertips. People didn't have that, 20 years, 30 years back. I mean, they had, very minimal. But now you have it at your fingertips. Imagine the stuff you could do. You could look up all kinds of stuff, and you say, wow, this is amazing. And you can heal yourself. You can do things that help you. Manuka honey, okay? All raw honey is very good for you as well. You can mix it up with the apple cider vinegar. Molasses is good for you as well. Baking soda. All of these things are very, very good for you, and they actually will help in aiding you and to destroy the toxins and eventually, rid your body of the fluoride and all that garbage and all this. But you got to get, you can't be taking fluoride and all that. You got to make sure you go on, try to minimize it as much as possible, even though it's kind of hard, because you buy soda, you buy even bottled water. I don't care what anybody tells me. Bottled water is also is horrible. Like I say, that it goes through processing. Anything that's processed, there's gonna have junk in it. You can't trust somebody because they say it's pure. That's bullshit. Okay, every processed thing is going to have, unless you do it yourself, it's going to be processed junk. Okay, and that's what it is. I mean, I eat meat, but I make sure if it tastes like crap, like adrenaline, I don't eat it. And I know that, meat is also contaminated. There's no doubt about it, kosher or not. It's contaminated. It's less contaminated in, let's say, places where they're like kosher places, because if they're kosher farms or even raised in the kosher way, like for instance Empire Chicken, even though a lot of religious people don't like it, they're not fed GMOs, they're not fed all kinds of crap. But you can also find non-kosher chicken like that for all my non-Jewish brothers and sisters out there who want to eat non-kosher. There's also like that, but also at the same time, the shechita is different, the slaughtering is different. If you have adrenaline pouring into it, that is not good for the body. I am telling you right now, it is not good for the body. Okay, so these things all contribute to that. Why do they think they say, oh, how come Buddhists are very spiritual, they're very connected? If you look at most of them in India, most of them are eating, I mean, even though, they're eating natural foods, but they're eating all vegan and all vegetarian, but it's, again, very raw diets. They go on, but their food is mostly grown themselves, like a lot of these yogis. I know a lot of this yogi who told me he grows his own stuff, his own crap. So I'm saying, like, when you have that kind of ability to control, they connect spiritually very, very well, because they can hear spirits, they can see spirits very clearly. I mean, I was born with it, so I could tell you, to me, I'm gonna say I don't think it makes a difference, but I'm sure it does. Because if you go, if I didn't do a study of me, if I could go back in time, I would do it. I'm willing to bet it would have been heightened more. I wouldn't want it to be heightened more, because I think I'm at maximum right now, so I don't really think I want it to heighten more, but I'm saying I believe it would have been heightened more, and I probably would have went psychotic, so maybe there was a reason for this, but the thing is, that's what it is. And these are the ways you got to stop. You got to look at it and see, how can I minimize, not eliminate, because eliminate is going to be very hard. It's almost found in everything. Gluten also destroys everything in your body, and that also contributes to your loss of spirituality. Remember, you got to have to be spiritually connected. You need to also have mind, body, and as they say, mind, body, and soul working together. And it has to be, even if you have pain, you could control that. But when there's chemicals in your body, for instance, aspartame, the worst thing that could fuck you up completely, because aspartame plays, when I tried it on rats before, when I did rat trials, the rats were going nuts. You don't do it on rats, you don't do it on rats, you don't do it on humans. It causes leukemia, lymphoma, all these things. But at the same time, it also has chemicals in your brain that almost everyone of my clients who suffer from anxiety that I've helped cure, they were drinking things like aspartame, you know, diet sodas and stuff like that. And aspartame causes a lot of problems, from heart palpitations to lowering your pH, which causes cancer, to chemical imbalances in your brain, to tumors in your brain, to tumors, to lymphoma, to, you name it, they got it, you know, and it's not good. All of these are chemicals, and they're preached by the government and by the doctors that it's the best thing in the world. I mean, how many times did we see Dr. Ross say aspartame is good, aspartame is bad, aspartame is good? He's paid for also by his sponsors. So you gotta understand, the millennials, the thing that's stupid about the millennials, they don't investigate for themselves. And you guys gotta investigate, because right now this is your opportunity. Okay, so be open-minded. Go and yearn to learn. Okay, go to a clairvoyant. If you're not clairvoyant, go to a clairvoyant person and see how he works. Okay? I would want you to be clairvoyant, but again, I'm warning you guys not to do that. When you open it, you don't know how much you get of it. So when you get of it, if it's too overwhelming, you're going to go nuts. So it's good to do it under a tutelage of somebody who is clairvoyant, so they can do it with you, step by step. You know, I'm not going to discuss that much about it, but I mean, it's pretty much given. But that's basically what you got to do. Cleanse your mind, cleanse your body every time. You know, do the apple cider vinegar, do the molasses with the baking soda, do all the things that alkalize your body, and try to eat as healthy as possible, and to minimize as much as you can. Okay, try not to eat gluten, even though I eat gluten, but I'm saying, you know, it's found in everywhere, but you can try to minimize it, and you'll see that you will connect better, because all of these things are destroying you. You understand? All of these things actually destroy you from education. So every time you learn in school, make sure you say, I'm just picking up the math. I am just picking up that. When it comes to sciences, history, and everything, history is written by the victors. We don't know what's true, what's not really. What's really, even their education is contaminated. But everything they teach you, if they tell you things like, there's no such thing as spirits, or they ease it in with subliminal messages, I'm sure, too. But the thing is, liberal education could play a very big trick, even the way they teach you math, like Common Core. If somebody looks at the way the algorithm is, the way they operate, it's also to fuck up your mind. It's all a technique to screw your mind. The teachers have no idea, because they're just doing what they're told. They're getting paid. They don't know. They want to make a living. So they're doing what they're told, and they look at it as the correct way. But many teachers even know Common Core is a joke. And that Common Core thing actually fucks with your mind as well. So you got all of these things that are contributing to the depletion of your energies and depletion of everything, and the food and all of that. This is why I taught you in my other video, in my other what is it, in episode 2, I believe, how to draw energy from the earth. And I want you guys to do meditations and to do these things, because when you draw energy from the earth, you're gonna be, and you do the cleansing, you're gonna be replacing your, and you're gonna fill up. Remember, as I said, you fill it up just like a stomach. And first you get stuffed when it's like lit, and you get some anxiety when you're too overstuffed, but then slowly it expands, and you could hold more reserve of energy. And then you could even eat crap if you want. I don't recommend it, but you see what I mean? Like that, it's all about that. It's all about, but first you got to understand, you got to know what's wrong. If you don't know what's wrong, you're not going to help yourself out. You need to know what's causing it, and then you'll know how to fix it. If you know what's wrong, you will know how to stop it. Okay? That's all I have to say right now. I kept it at what, 23 minutes and something. So anyways, let me know what you guys think. Like, subscribe, dislike, definitely comment below, definitely subscribe, so you'll be the first to know when a new episode comes out. But write on the comments below if there's anything else you want me to cover. I'll do it in this mini-series. Okay, so this is episode 6 out of, you know, so it's 6 episodes right here so far, and we're going to continue. Anyways, like, subscribe, dislike. Have a good one, y'all. Take care. Bye.